Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today, Michael Haan from Care to Grow, to present to us on Change Your Money Story, Change Your Life. Learn strategies to build confidence with money and financial freedom. Michael is the founder of Care to Grow Thai Limited, a firm with a strong history in financial planning and building wealth through property. The business now solely focuses on clients' financial well-being and transforming negative financial mindsets and beliefs to help them live their best life. His vision is to empower people to create more joy, freedom and growth through financial well-being because he has witnessed and overcome the negative impact of financial stress. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Michael Haan.
Thanks for having us, guys. And I just wanted to give, a bit of a brief before I start. And it was, a quick background. So I've been in financial planning, building wealth through property for clients for 20 years plus. And what I found the missing gap was, where do people go around financial wellbeing, learning about money, if they can't go and see a financial planner? Because generally you need $200,000-$300,000 or a lot of insurance. So it's very product driven. So as an example, where does a 29-year-old woman to go and learn confidence around money? And I did more research, and I just found that there's so much financial stress out there, either through employees, business owners, and it really does impact, I'll go through a screen later, but it does impact relationships and it really impacts your health. So it's really my desire, my passion is to actually get younger people, their thoughts around money, their beliefs, their behaviours, their unconscious bias around money, and to have a better mindset that serves them. So I suppose I just wanted to position that. This is a great start to it. So how many leaks are in your bucket? I see this all the time, where this is the flow of money in my words. And someone said to me, what do you do? And I actually shared with them that I fix buckets. And then they said, well, what does that mean? Are you a plumber? And I said, well, no, not really. I can't fix anything in a sense. So it's really around the money flowing in and it was just going out everywhere. And I found clients actually just had no idea of where their money was flowing out. I saw clients paying a lot more money on their loans, on their expenses, and even just the ability to sit down with the client and look at how they're spending and sort of fix that up, fix that bucket, so to speak. And I was able to save anywhere from sort of $400 to $1,000 a month for them. And that made a big difference to their life in regard to either paying off debt, getting rid of some credit card debt, or going on holiday. So that's sort of how it started. I think it's just a really good analogy. It's a good picture of what I see out there in the marketplace. There's a few quotes that I suppose really resonate with me and just keep me on purpose, keep me driven. And one is, your life is a printout of your subconscious mind. What that means to me, and the next quote illustrates it again: show me the 7-year-old boy and I'll show you the man. So a lot of your programming, a lot of your beliefs and behaviours come from when you're 0 to 7. And they're generally from your family, generally from your parents. And what you're doing is you're learning how to fit into life. So not all those sort of programs, not all that sort of upbringing is healthy for you. So you've potentially taken on some limiting beliefs, behaviours from your parents that you're still doing now in your life. So I want to sort of just put that quote out there. I'll speak a bit more about that. But also the power of thought. We've just got to be really mindful about what we're putting out to the universe. So quotes from Dr. Wayne Dwyer, which is, we become what we think about, and what we think about expands. And I truly believe in that you can actually, the power of your thoughts, what you're putting out there, and how you can change that by changing your thoughts. I think I was looking for a new car, and I just had it in my mind. I really wanted this brand new car. It was a midlife crisis thing. And when I actually had it in my mind, I started seeing them everywhere. So I am such a believer that, as I said, what you have in your mind, what you're putting out there, you do see that showing up in your life. and it's better if it's positive. So I just want to go through a few tips that will ideally help you, support you. And one is really, I call it the money biography. So it's really understanding your history with money, the decisions, the patterns that you've had with money. Do you make decisions from a subconscious space, which is more programming, it's more emotional, or do you actually make decisions around it from a conscious mind, which is you're keeping it real there. Your conscious mind is very creative. It's in the moment. So really, when I sit down with clients and go through this sort of biography, their past journey with money, sometimes it's quite emotional because they get to see patterns that they've never seen before. But it creates that awareness for them to actually say, well, I can choose, I can change that. I want to do something different. It's also around money types. So everyone's got up to 8 different money types, and depends how they sort of play out, how they show up in your life. And a common one I see that's detrimental to people sort of building wealth and building financial freedom is that they've got a sort of an innocent mindset where if I don't look at it, it's not there. And it's more like a child mindset. And I see that a lot. So again, if you get a bill come in and you can't afford it, you just put it in the top drawer. And if you don't see it, it's out of mind. It's going to come back to bite you. So it's really understanding what your money types are, how that plays out in your life in regard to, as I said, building that financial freedom, having money flowing to you. What I love is that mother-father mirror. So I take my clients through that. And I'd ask you to just have a look at that and look how potentially some of their behaviours and patterns and beliefs around money you've taken on in your life. It is quite common for people to actually, even when they're 40, 50, to still have a lot of those sort of patterns that they've taken on from their parents because it's subconscious. So really, I suppose, understanding that and understanding some of their beliefs and patterns that don't serve you, and then again, making choices. So this is really bringing an awareness around your relationship with money, your history around money, and I suppose people that shaped your relationship with money. Also I spoke about it a little bit before, but just really conscious about what are your thoughts, what are you putting out there and how they acting out there. So I'll go through in a moment. I believe that I think 95% of your decisions that you make in your life are from your subconscious mind. We also know that 70% of your thoughts are negative. This is research that backs this up. And we know that your subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. So I think we've got to look at really what's controlling your mind. So a lot of us, as I said, 95% of our lives are on autopilot unless we actually work on coming back into our conscious mind and being creative and really looking for opportunity. So I think that's fairly staggering, especially if you are sort of in a block or you're looking at things that aren't serving you. You've got a program in there that you don't understand and you're trying to achieve your goals and you always find yourself procrastinating, self-sabotaging. So I think it's just really good to sort of have that understanding about how powerful your thoughts are. I wanted to share something I got from the US. So I'm just reading it. But it's people that have won lottery or won over $1 million. And what we found is, because it changed their life, obviously, is 80% of people who win millions of dollars lose it all within the first 3 years. 95% of people think it was the worst experience in their life. So we just questioned what their thoughts were. They started not trusting people and things like that. What was their subconscious bias around money? Were they deserving? Were they worthy of having that money? So were they getting rid of that because, again, they didn't feel as if they deserved it? So I think it's just a really empowering stat to actually understand that. So we might stop buying raffle tickets. I don't know. What I see a lot is, again, your relationship with money. So a lot of people have a negative relationship with money. And again, what you're putting out there is what's coming back to you. So that can sort of be blocking the flow of money for you. So I get this quite a lot where people don't really understand money. They don't feel they're any good with money. They don't know how to manage it. They don't think money's got anything to do with happiness, and I'd question that. Or they just never have enough money. So there's this scarcity that they're always saying, I need more money. And generally that reflects in other parts of their life where they need more money, they need more of other things. But these are things that I see quite common, and it can hold people back from having the flow of money, because again, that's what you're putting out there in regard to your energy. So I think some alternatives around that is just really embrace your relationship with money. So really understand what money's doing for you. In my view, a lot of people have negative connotations around money, but money's freedom, money's choice. One of my passions is to build a legacy or a foundation, I should say, for women that are sort of displaced. So homeless women in Australia, over 50 women, there's an increase in them becoming homeless. So it's one of my passions. So to actually build that foundation, that's driven towards money, but I've got a purpose around it. It's quite clear. Having money flowing freely to me, so accepting that money can flow freely. I'm deserving of receiving money. See the flow of money. Have what I call an intentional spending plan. It is a budget, but I reframe that because that gives you power. So an intentional spending plan means it's all about you. So look at that daily. Actually see how your money moves, how it's sort of coming in, how it's going out there. Again, that's empowering you. It's actually improving your relationship with money. And just acknowledge that you're worthy of receiving. So the income that's coming in there, that you are worthy of that. A lot of people have beliefs they don't charge enough, especially running a business. They don't think they're deserving. So again, just have that acknowledgement that you are deserving. You've got something of real value there, and you've got to just make sure that you get value for that. This is one of my passions, and I've seen this for many years, which is setting goals. And really, I think the paradigm that I believe it doesn't serve is that people set goals, so they're SMART goals, which is what's the acronym, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So that's good. Then they sort of visualize achieving those goals, which is great as well. And then they have clear steps to achieve their goals. So they might have 90-day plans, 30-day plans. So that's all well and good, but the missing gap for me is, again, your subconscious mind. We spoke before that 95% of your thoughts, 95% of your actions are from your subconscious mind. So the paradigm that I am passionate about and trying to change, especially with business coaches and my clients in particular, is to follow that same line. But we see in point 3, it's really understanding what your subconscious mind has in regard to beliefs, behaviours and stories that will hold you back. So that there's a true alignment there. I can actually sit down with the client, understand what their goals are, what their dreams are, what they really want to achieve and what that means to them, get them to sort of visualise, again, how they feel about that they're actually achieving it already. Then I can do some work with them. It takes about 5 minutes to do some strength work around connecting with the subconscious mind. And I can work with them in 5 minutes to actually understand or give them feedback that if we don't shift some things around their subconscious mind, they're not going to achieve their goals. And I think we know that there's just so many people out there that don't achieve their goals there. Even though they're following a process, they're not achieving their goals, they're getting frustrated, they're getting angry. So they sort of give up on that. So I think we've got to do, as coaches, business coaches, life coaches, similar to me, money coaches, is really get people to understand what their blocks are, what's going to limit them, and have that full alignment in their body, have that strength, everything's working together in regard to them achieving their best life, living their dream, living what they want to live. I want to share why it's so important. I did say it before, but we do know that financial stress, especially if you have it for a long time, it does create anxiety, depression, and cancer. And it's one of the leading causes of relationship breakdown. So it's something that we really need to shift and get people to really understand their relationship with money, where it came from, and some strategies to actually improve their relationship with money moving forward. What that will do, it'll ease stress. It'll create better relationships. You'll discuss money with your partner and have common goals there. So there's so much work to be done in this area, and I'm certainly up for it. So I just wanted to go through some strategies. So look at releasing old beliefs that aren't serving you. So when you maybe look back at your history around money or some of the things that your mum and dad did that you might be holding on to, look at that and look at creating more empowering beliefs. So the phrase I use a lot with my clients is, in the past, I used to feel, I've got an example, they're not worthy, but I used to feel whatever. And now I feel that I am worthy and deserving of whatever. So your mind, you're teaching your subconscious that this is the past. That's how I felt. This is the new me. This is how I'm feeling. So it's quite empowering to actually teach your subconscious mind that you're going down a different pathway. Be really aware and conscious of negative thoughts in the moment. So as soon as they come up there, acknowledge them and look at why they've come up. Look at your environment, look at whether they're real, whether they can change there. And if you can pick yourself up thinking negative thoughts there and change them straight away, again, you're teaching your subconscious mind a different pathway. Be aware of your beliefs, behaviours and patterns around money. I think that's just so important to really understand your journey you've had with money. So you've got such an awareness there and you can transform. You can look at strategies to have a better relationship with money. Daily acknowledgements. So have that journal. People talk about this all the time. Breathing is just so important. Meditation and affirmations. So it's really, if you can get off of that autopilot, which a lot of people are on 95% of their life, and take the time to come down to your conscious mind, where you are rational, you are creative, you are thoughtful, you're going to make better decisions. And what I found, one of my best tips, one of my biggest tips that people do straight away is that a lot of times when we're confronted or we feel not at ease in a conversation, we tend to answer, but we tend to answer from a subconscious mind and from a mind very emotional. And what I say to them is that two things. One is you just take a deep breath. So that's 3 or 4 seconds it allows you to drop to your conscious mind. Or I actually make the other person feel better and just say, look, that was a really, really great question and I want to answer that, and then go from there, because that's brought you 3 or 4 seconds to sort of come into your conscious mind where you're rational, creative, and you can think more clearly.